Hi guys, welcome back to High Yield Intraday Trading. So time for me again to share a live trade of mine with you people. So the date would be 28th of September 2017. And before I actually speak anything about today's trade, I would like to mention a small disclaimer here. I actually traded big today. Okay, so the capital used was 40,000. So with a 40x margin. Okay, so if you take the total, I was trading with 16 lakhs. Okay, so 40,000 into 40, right? So it's 16 lakhs. Okay, so the main thing which I want to communicate here or replicate to you people over here is, if you are comfortable, okay, in trading with small quantity, in trading with small capitals, okay, and once you are consistent in at the end of the day, when you are making sure that you are coming out of the of all your trades in green, okay, so trading with a big capital should not be a big deal for you. Okay, so in other words, if you are consistent in making profits with small capital, you will be consistent in making profits with big capitals as well. Okay, but the disclaimer here is you need to be very sure that you are consistently in profit with your small capitals. Okay, so have small capitals, practice trading and practice being in green for at least 3 to 4 months, and then you can slowly start increasing your capital. Okay, so having that said, the summary for today's trade is the capital used was 40,000. The profit made was 51,575 rupees 50 paise, and the profit percentage was 128.93%. Okay, so in total 4 trades were taken. Reliance Capital, Torrent Power, ICIL was taken twice, and IRB was taken twice. Okay, so let me quickly jump on to why did I take those trades. Okay, let me cover the negative trades first, the ones in which I made losses. Okay, so the first one was Torrent Power. This was taken in between of a trade. I mean, I was already in a trade and I took this up. Okay, so the entry made in Torrent Power was at 215.93, that is at the top. Okay, so the expectation was it should be going up, but it never happened. Okay, and it started falling. Okay, so I was actually expecting that it has created a flagged kind of pattern, so if it creates if it breaks the channel, it will go up. It did break the channel. Okay, it did started moving up, but the only thing which was throwing a resistance was R1. Okay, so I had to wait for R1 to get breached. Okay, which never happened. Okay, and finally it started falling down. So I was sure that this stock will not sustain the up move when the stock crossed this point. Okay, so I was sure at that point. So what did I do? I came out of the trade. Okay, so 213.84 this place was where I booked my losses and I came out of the trade. Okay, so the total loss I incurred in this trade was 2 rupees 9 paise. Okay, so the thing to learn here is, if you see that the market direction is not supporting your expectations, the best thing that you can do is book your losses. Okay, so what you are doing by booking your losses at the earliest is you are preserving your capital, because in the market, if you want to sustain, you need to have the capital, right? Only if you have a capital, you will be able to trade tomorrow, right? So your main concern, the utmost concern that you should be having, is to preserve your capital. Yeah, so this was Torrent Power, guys. Next was Reliance Capital, again a loss. Just a moment here. All right, so the trade here was taken up at this point somewhere here at 599.05. okay, well, it did not sustain the pivot actually. So it was like very choppy. I mean, you see this long wick here, that added to my confirmation that the buyers are not ready to settle at low prices, so it should be going up. But exactly at the next candle, again I got a wick from the upper end. Okay, so nothing was for sure. Okay, now the only thing, okay, let me mention that this trade was also taken in the middle of another trade. Okay, and I was trading with around 600 or 650 shares. All right, so that was another factor why I decided to be in this trade for long. Okay, even though I was in loss, because in the other trades I was in profit. Okay, so overall I was in a profit. Okay, so these are some of the factors that you should consider before you decide that you can continue in a losing trade. Okay, so since I was in a loss in this trade, but again I had another trade in which I earned much more than what I was losing here. Okay, so these are the small things which you know, which takes care that at the end of the day you will be in the profits. Okay, so the exit was at 586.50 or 4 or 60, something like that. So the total loss which I made here was 12 rupees 50 paise. Okay, so in terms of rupees, I made a loss of 8,144 rupees. Okay, and in Torrent Power I made a loss of 3,762 rupees. Okay, so these were the two losing trades, guys. This was the red candle where I decided to come out of the trade. Okay, there was no point because super trend was showing us the arrow towards the lower side, so there is no point in waiting again. But at the end of the day it did zoomed up, but there was no point. I mean, you cannot just wait for the whole day to get this movement. Okay, also you will not be sure whether it will give this movement or not, right? So go according to the technicals. All right, I decided my stop loss to be this super trend line, and the moment it reached there I came out of the trade. All right, so this was rel cap for you guys. Next one was ICIL. Right. All right, so two trades I made here. The first entry here, you see the first candle. Okay, this wick was telling me that the buyers are not ready to settle at a lower price. Okay, so I entered somewhere here. 98.95 was the place where I entered. This was the place where I entered. Okay, I would have booked my profit here, but it was so fast that before I could do anything, it just came down. Okay, I was not able to help it because anyways I'm uncomfortable in, you know, trading on mobile phones, and by the time I reached the screen where I could sell off this particular trade, okay, so it came down and it started moving down. So my target was if it crosses the pivot and if it closes below the pivot, then I will square up my trade again in a loss. Doesn't matter whether it is a loss or not, guys. The only thing which matters is you are preserving your capital. Okay, and until and unless the support and the resistances are working in your favor, you don't have to worry about anything. But again, you need to know exactly where does the support and resistances work and what makes them work. Okay, so those are the technicalities which I take care of. Okay, I got some confidence here when I got a longer wick here, which tells me that the buyers are pushing the stock higher. Okay, and eventually it moved up. Okay, it never touched the pivot point here. Okay, so I exited at 101.60 exactly here. Okay, so my technicals were telling me that it will go till at least 101.90 or 95, but I decided to come out at this point because this was a pretty big green candle for, you know, 100 rupee stock, right? So I just came out here. I was able to manage a profit of 2 rupees 65 paise. Okay, and my total profit was 10,600 rupees in ICIL's first trade. Okay, now a second trade was made. Okay, the second trade was made here. I entered at around 102.52. That is somewhere here. Just a moment. Yeah, somewhere here. Okay, I actually tried entering here, but because I really struggled to place the order because Astha was not accepting my order, I like tried around 4 to 5 times and every time it got rejected. So by the time I entered, it was the red candle, I believe. Okay, but the cost was 102.52. Okay, now, well, it closed above R1, and you see the super trend line here. So according to the rules, we should not be entering here. Okay, but if you are experienced, by seeing some of the parameters, you can take these type of trades wherein the gap is around, you know, for a 100 rupees stock, a gap of 1 rupees 80 paise is a big gap, right? So the candlesticks always have a habit of, you know, just going till the resistance, touching it and coming back again. Okay, but that needs a lot of expertise, guys. Do not assume it every time that if you get this kind of setup you can go long and you can have the target somewhere here. No, it doesn't work. Okay, there are some specific things which you need to look into which will tell you that it might go till here. Okay, so the same thing was applied by me. The entry was at 102.52 and my target was, I mean my exit was 103.20 somewhere here. Okay, 103.20 somewhere here. Okay, so good profit of around 70 paise, I would say. Okay, I was trading with 5,000 shares, so the profit was around 3,400 rupees. Okay, so yeah, this was about ICIL, guys. Okay, so if I would have wanted, I would have stayed back, but again, for a 100 rupee stock, 70 paise profit is like a good deal for me. Okay, and earlier also I had managed to take around 2 rupees 65 paise profit, so I was very happy with that. Okay, so this was ICIL for you guys. The last one was IRB, right? All right, again IRB, 2 trades were taken. One trade was perfectly caught by me. That is, I entered at 213.62 exactly at this point. Okay, this candle 213.62 was the entry. Okay, and immense volume, guys, immense volume, immense strength, everything was damn good. Okay, so there was no doubt that this guy was gonna go up. Okay, so I entered long here at 213.62 and I booked my profits at 218.30 somewhere here. 218.30. By the time it was almost touching the R2, or it was just on the verge of crossing R2. So it was a big deal for me, guys, because within a matter of 5 to 10 minutes I was in a profit of 4 rupees 70 paise. Okay, for a 200 rupee stock, it's more than sufficient for me. I cannot ask anything more than this. Okay, but to my surprise, it again went up. Okay, that's okay. I mean, you feel bad when you see such movements, but again, at the end of the day, when you think about your decisions, you will be really satisfied. Okay, so this was the first trade that was taken. Okay, the second trade which was taken was at 224. Okay, somewhere here I took it. Okay, yeah, this candle. Okay, so I was waiting for this particular skip to take some support. Okay, and by seeing some technicals and this solid green candle, I was pretty sure, I was not very sure, I was pretty sure that this guy will go up. Okay, now since I have already made a profit of around 5 rupees earlier, so I was in a condition to take a risk of maybe 2 rupees or 2 rupees 50 paise. Okay, so my stop loss was somewhere around R3 or just lower than R3. Okay, so this was the candle I entered. 224 was the price I entered. Okay, and the exit was at 227.25, that is here. The moment this candle started, I did not want it to take much risk, because anyways I'm getting a profit of 3 rupees 25 paise or 3 rupees 30 paise. That is more than sufficient for me, right? So 2 trades, both the trades in green in IRB, and IRB was the one in which I gained the most today. Okay, so having that said, these were the reasons why I took up these trades. Let me get you on to the video recording. All right, so this is the one. Yeah, sorry guys, just a moment, let it open it. Yeah, right, ICIL 98.95 was the entry with 4,000 shares. Alright, I'll keep forwarding the video whenever it is not required. Okay, so I entered Reliance Capital here. Took up some time because it gave me a huge list, maybe because of my typo. Okay, so Reliance Capital was the one which I entered with 600 or 650 shares, I believe. Let me see it here. Yeah, 650 was the number. So 2 trades simultaneously. Right, and see here, 2 trades both buy. ICIL with 4,000 shares and Reliance Capital with 650 shares. Okay, Right, normally I use the 1 minute, sorry, 5 minutes candle, guys. Don't go for that 1 hour and 1 day. Those are some of the things which I wanted to verify. Let's say, for example, here, the reason why I have the 1 hour graph is because I can see a bullish pin bar that is being formed here, right? The Reliance Capital thing. Okay, so that tells me that Reliance Capital should be going up, a good movement at least. Okay, so for a 600 rupees share, I can at least expect 6 to 7 rupees movement, which never happened. I mean, it happened at the end of the day, but it did not happen when I wanted that to happen. So these are the things which I wanted to cross check by jumping on to the higher time frames. Okay, so ICIL, it was time for me to book my profits. Okay, so 4,000 shares sell. Took some time to decide the number and finally settle for 101 dot was it 30? I don't think so. It should be more than that. Okay, I'm still deciding. Okay, yeah, 101.60 was the number which I decided, and it took some time to hit that number. Okay, and finally it got executed. Yeah, so in ICIL I was in a profit of around let it open the positions here. Yeah, I was in a profit of 10,600 rupees, and Reliance Capital was still running, and I was in a loss of 1,137 rupees. This was the exact thing that I was telling you guys. The profit was much more than the loss. Okay, you should always take care of this. Right, so moving on. I'm just checking Reliance Capital at that time. It takes a lot of effort, guys. I mean, if you want to trade multiple, you need to scan multiple stuffs and stuffs like that. So Torrent Power was the one which I decided, okay, that again went wrong because I took it exactly at the top. Okay, but again, I managed to come out of that with, you know, minimal losses. So ultimately I was able to preserve my capital, right? So Torrent Power, it was a quick trade. Within 15 to 20 minutes I was out of the trade. Okay, I decided to book my losses, so that's fine. All right, now also if you see here, profit was 10,600 and the loss was around around 6,100 rupees. Okay, still I'm in profit. Okay, so Reliance Capital is still running, and the next one was IRB, 7,000 shares. So I believe this is the point where I started using a bit more capital. Okay, so yeah, it got executed, the buy order at the market price. Okay, and it was a big movement. Yeah, so quick trade here. Within 5 to 8 minutes I just booked my profit with a move of 5 rupees maybe. Yeah, so it was a good trade. I was able to catch it right from the root, but I was not able to hold myself till the, you know, last moment of the candlestick. But anyways, a profit is a profit, so that's okay. So right, 213.62 to 218.29. It was a big profit for me. Okay, so let me show the position here. So this was the position, guys. ICIL, I was already out with 10,600 profit. IRB, I was in a profit of 32,760, and these two losses are still very small compared to my profits. Okay, that is the reason why I still decided to stay back in Reliance Capital. Okay, well, let's move on here. Okay, finally I got fed up with Reliance Capital because it was increasing my loss. So as I told earlier, super trend was my stop loss, and that is when that was crossed, I decided to come out of the trade. So in total it was 8,144.50 paisa in loss. Okay, now also if you see, the loss was around 8, 9, 10, 12, 12,000, right? And the profit was around 21 or 22,000, right? Almost double, right? So these are the things which you need to take care of the things which, when you our day trading. This I wanted to play really big with ICIL. 20,000 shares got rejected. I wasted a lot of time there. I told you while showing you the charts that I wasted some time there. So 15,000 again, it got rejected. 10,000 also got rejected, and finally it took me in for 5,000. Okay, so it was really frustrating. Yeah, so when you're sure about the moves, and when it doesn't take a big trade of yours, it's really frustrating. Yeah, so right, 5,000 was the number of shares it took finally. Yeah, so yeah, and sold off again. IRB at 227.25, I believe. Was a good trade again. I mean, 16,250 rupees was what I gained in the second trade of IRB. So in total it went around 49,000 just in IRB. Okay, so oh sorry, 49 or 39, yeah, 32, 42, yeah, around 48, 49,000 just in IRB. ICIL again, time to sell off. Okay, so 5,000 sold here. Yeah, took some time to you know, execute the order, but finally got executed. 102.52 was the buying cost, and 103.20 was the selling cost, with 5,000 shares. Good amount of profit. Yeah, so this was my IRB is still left over, so let's wait. I'm sorry. Right, took some time to decide the number, guys. I think I settled down for 227.10 or something like that. Yeah, let me forward it a bit. It's a tough part actually. I mean, setting the last numbers, setting your target. You would always like to take the max profit, but you should also have this thing in mind that by the time you decide the numbers, the movement should not be missed. Okay, so everything goes hand in hand in intraday trading. You need to have an eye and mind on everything that is going on around you. So yeah, let me forward it a bit again. I took a long time to decide, man. Yeah, 227.25 I think was the number. Yes, that was the number. Yeah, right, so it got executed. Awesome. Okay, so let me take you to my positions here. Alright, so this is the position, guys. ICIL 14,040 rupees profit, IRB 49,440 rupees profit, Rel Cap 8,200 rupees loss, Torrent Power 3,800 rupees loss. Right, so the profits are much more than the losses, right? So please take care of this thing always. Okay, so again, just to repeat, the capital you used was 40,000. Profit earned was 51,575 rupees 50 paise, and the profit percentage was 128.93%. Okay, and guys, my humble request, please do not get misguided with this video. Okay, because a profit of 51,500 is like it's too much, right, for a particular day. I mean, you can stop trading for the entire month if you get that much of profit in a single day, right? But my only concern and my only thought of making this video is to show you guys that if I can make 100% profit with a capital of 5,000 rupees, then I can also make 100% profit with a capital of 40,000 rupees. That is the only thing which I wanted to show you here. Okay, so having that said, let me wrap it up, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me see if I'm able to trade and record the video for tomorrow. Okay, and if I do it, I will surely go ahead and share it again. It might be a profit, it might be a loss. Okay, so but I will surely make it a point to share it out over YouTube. All right, you all have a good day, guys. Thank you so much for all your time and patience. Good night, everyone.